Okay, hey guys, in your notes, 1.4, first of all, we're going to start talking about comparing and ordering integers. Oops, I better calibrate first. So we're already off to a bad start here, so the parents can see how bad I am. Here it is. All right, how about a volunteer to read to me the title of the notes, first of all? Who would do that? Go ahead, Tim.
What was that? Pre-integrated math 1.4, comparing and ordering integers.
All right, that's great. Comparing and ordering integers. We're going to have to figure out what some of these terms mean here first off. But today our goal is going to be compare and order integers. Basically, you're going to be comparing some numbers. All right. As I think about like this morning compared to maybe 2 days ago on Sunday. Sunday was pretty warm, wasn't it? Saturday was pretty warm, wasn't it? How about your temperature this morning?
It's cold. Rainy.
Well, it's rainy. Give me a statement about maybe the temperature this morning compared to maybe Saturday or Sunday morning.
Rainy.
It's rainy. What else?
Mist.
Talk to me in terms of temperature. Don't give me the weather forecast. Just talk to me in terms of temperature. How about the temperature this morning compared to 2 days ago?
Cold.
It's colder, right?
Cold,
Yep.
buggy.
So one statement that maybe you would make is the temperatures this morning are colder than they were 2 days ago. Okay? All right. All right. Listen to this question. If I say the temperature this morning was 56 degrees, temperature this morning was 56 degrees, give me a possible ordering temperature for either Saturday or Sunday.
72.
Okay, why would 72
78.
maybe be an example?
It's warmer.
Then what did I say? 50,
56.
56, okay? So yeah, all we're looking at doing is comparing and ordering integers. And guys, right here, we need to understand some vocab. This is going to be very simple. Integers right here are just simply counting numbers right here. They're both positive and they're both negative. And as examples up here, you have -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. They're always going to be whole numbers. Is 4.2 an integer?
No.
4 and 2/10. No, it's 4 and then some fraction of a whole number. Okay, so they're going to be whole numbers, counting numbers. Here's examples of them. Is 17 an integer? Yes, it is. Okay? You understand what an integer is and is not? Okay? Integers are like counting by 1, both positively and negatively, including 0. Okay? Negative integers are going to be any integers less than what, gang? Less than 0. So what's that mean about positive integers?
More than 0.
It's going to be more than 0. You guys get this. Okay. Things that might be new. First of all, how many of you have heard of absolute value before?
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of absolute value? Who thinks they could give me a definition about what they think absolute value might mean? They got thought?
Distance between two numbers, one number and 0.
Yeah. It's a distance away from 0. So guys, yeah, it's a distance from 0 right here. All right. As an example, we'll come down here and look at number 1. Guys, 0 is always obviously on a number line right here in the middle. Okay. Guys, if I went to 7 right here, just as an example, how far away from 0 am I? How many units away from 0 are you? If I'm on 7. How many units is this from 0 up to 7? It's 7 units, right? Okay. Now, if I go the opposite way and say something like this, if I go to -7, I'm at -7, but how far is this distance right here? Your cars, when you drive, do your cars count negative miles?
No.
No. Wish they did. Okay. They would appreciate instead of depreciate. All right. But guys, even though this value right here is -7, how far away from 0 are you still?
7.
7 units, okay? So basically, yeah, perfect. Absolute value is going to be the distance from 0 on a number line. Very good. Okay, and then opposites. Okay? Opposites. It's not like saying if you're a Minnesota Vikings fan, then you are not a Green Bay Packer fan, right? Make sense? Okay, opposites in this. If I say +6, what's its opposite? -6. If I say -22, what's its opposite?
22.
+22. So basically for an opposite, you're taking any sign, whether it's positive or negative, and doing what with it? Changing positive to a negative, or if it's negative, turn it to a positive. Let's roll on this, all right? Let's roll on this. This is pretty darn easy stuff. Okay. Guys, the first example we're looking at is example 1 in your notes. It says graphing and ordering integers. Down below it says use a number line to order these integers from least to greatest. You may not necessarily need this, okay? But we want to review this stuff to make sure that we're okay with it. One thing I would indicate to probably do is just go ahead and plot these values, all right? If you can think of this as a thermometer, what temperatures are the coldest? Left or the right?
Left.
I mean, left.
Left. Negative temperatures would be the coldest. Where's the highest temperature going to be?
Right.
To the right, okay? So if I can go ahead and plot values on here and then label them from left to right, isn't that putting them in order from smallest to largest? It is, okay? And this is very simple. I won't waste a lot of time with this. But guys, the values you need to plot are right here. What's the first value it says to plot?
0.
0. That's there, isn't it? Okay. What's the next value after 0? Looks like negative, negative 6. So just underline plot that. All right, what's the next one?
-2.
Plot negative 2. Okay. Plot negative 8. Plot my 7 right here. Plot my negative 9. And plot my positive 3, which would be right there. Okay. Now, guys, after you've plotted them, then pretty much everything's in order. It says put everything in order. Now, you may have been able to do that without a number line. Okay. But, guys, what number is furthest to the left here? Which number did I plot furthest to the left?
9.
Negative
9.
9. Good, Tim. Okay, so I've got negative 9. What's after that then for the next value moving up? What do we plot next?
-8.
Negative 8. What's the next one?
-6.
Negative 6.
-2.
Good.
0.
0.
Then 3.
3. And what else?
7.
7. All right. So, guys, like I said, maybe you could have looked at this. Just give me a show of hands. How many think you could put that in order from least to greatest without this? Okay, we should be able to do that. All right. If you can't, use the number line here. Just plot them and then just work left to right. Work left to right. These values are in order after you've plotted them. Okay. Why don't you guys take a second on your own? Try this one right down here. Go ahead and try the on your own and put that in order. When you've got a solution, check with someone near you. Again, I'll always tell you all year, if you don't agree with somebody, what do you need to do? Compare them. If you disagree, talk about why you disagree, okay? Take about 1 minute and put those in order from least to greatest, all right? And again, once you've got them, I'll just remind you, check with someone, see if you agree, all right? Did you find a book for him, Mrs. Miller? Okay, did you put that back in here already, or where's that at, Tim? Or Tyler? Tyler, right? Yep, okay. How about the flash? Just throw it on my desk, okay, kiddo? Hey, Mrs. Miller, how about those Hawkeyes?
Yeah. A win's a win.
Little
I was
lethargic.
there and it was,
Yeah.
Did you go?
yeah, I went.
Excellent. Looked like a nice day for a game.
They were third down all-stars. It was funny. I was like, watch, they're gonna score. They did the same play every third down.
Really?
Kept scoring from them.
Pretty cool having 3 union grads. On
Yeah,
the
that's neat,
field.
wasn't it? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, good deal. Did you go down?
No,
No?
we didn't.
Who needs more time with us right here? Anybody? Anybody? You guys all agree? How about a volunteer to talk you through this? I'm going to go ahead and label these again, but a volunteer to talk you through this. Okay, Allie, help me out, kiddo.
-7.
Okay, you said -7 first?
Yeah.
Is it okay if I plot them? Tell me your order, and I'm going to plot them, and I should be able to just move from left to right all the time, okay? So she's saying -7 first. All right, what's next, Allie?
-4.
-4, okay.
-1.
Positive 1 or negative 1?
Negative.
-1, sorry, I didn't catch that. Okay, go ahead.
0.
Excellent.
2.
Okay, that works.
4. 6.
How many had the order that Allie just showed us? Okay, I'm going to write this down quickly. All right, so she said -7, -4, -1, 0, 2, 4, 6. Give me a show of hands. How many had that again? Oh my gosh, way too easy. Way too easy. We need to move on, okay? Questions on the first page. Excellent work. Okay. Hey, take a look.
Absolute value is.
We'll get there. You do know what it is or don't know?
I don't.
We're going there right now, okay?
Is everything okay?
Everybody on the second page?
Yeah.
Okay, up the example 2 this is talking about finding absolute value. What does your definition say again, Tim, about absolute value? What did you tell us already?
It's how far it is from 0.
It's how far a number is away from 0, okay? What I might do is make a note. Absolute value up here is always positive, except for what value? 0, okay? Always positive except for, you might want to jot this down, except for 0. Okay? Again, finding absolute value. All right? We're not so concerned about the number. We're concerned about how far away from 0 is that number. So in example A, right here, they want the absolute value of what? 7. Now, guys, you're going to see the absolute value of 7 written like this in your books. It's going to be 7. Anybody know what they're going to put around it?
No.
Anybody ever seen anything that looks like this? Looks like your 7s in bars like that.
Yeah.
Have you seen that before?
Yes.
Simply means the absolute value of 7. Okay. In other words, it's saying how far away from 0 is 7. Well, guys, check it out. Isn't 7 right here? And 0 is right here, right? Okay. Well, what's the distance from 0 all the way up to 7? What is that distance? 7. So I say the absolute value of 7 here is equal to what value? 7. All right. Likewise, for letter B, well, you got -5 right here, right? Okay. -5 is going to be right here. So if I ask the question, what's the absolute value of -5, what would you say? In other words, how far is this distance? It's 5 units, right? So the absolute value of a negative will be what kind of value? Positive. Okay? The absolute value of positive will still be what? Positive. The only time you won't have a positive value for absolute value is when it is what? Okay. All right. Here's a question for you. Ready? Absolute value of 62. What is it? 62. Absolute value of -300. 300. You got it. All right. John, let me ask you a question now. Make sense? Got it down?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Example 3 is about finding opposites. Find the opposite of each number. Opposites, we simply said, do what with the sign? Flip it, right? Opposites just mean that there are two numbers that are the same distance from 0, okay? Here's an example. Find the opposite number of each. What's the opposite of 3 going to be right here? -3. Check it out, guys. The first value I plotted was 3, right? But we said the opposite was -3 right here, right? Guys, is 0 right in the middle of those two values? Okay, opposites mean they're the same distance from 0. One's on the left side, one's on the right side. Okay? That's all it means. How about the opposite of -8? What do you have there? It's going to be 8. Okay? So opposites. Can opposites be negative? Yes. Can opposites be positive? What's the opposite of 0? 0. Still 0. Okay, good. All right. On your own, try these right here. What I've done is give you some values. I've given you 9 here, and I've given you -12 here. I want you to state the absolute value of 9 first, and then I want you to state the opposite of +9. Likewise over here, state the absolute value of -12. State the the opposite of -12. Okay? Jot those down, give you a minute, and again, check with someone around you. Fine, fine. Good over here, Kate? Good? Good, Candace? Taryn, okay? Timmy, you alright, buddy? Maddie, good? Allie? Maddie, Pete? I'll be here for you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, this is pretty simple, all right? How about the absolute value of 9? What'd you guys come up with? Somebody shout it out to me. 9, good. Okay. What'd you guys put for an opposite?
Negative 9.
-9. Very good. Okay, how about the absolute value of -12 over here? What'd you put? 12? How about the opposite?
12.
It's 12 also. Opposite of negative is positive, okay? So guys, everything up to this point, pretty darn easy. Would you guys agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. Part that maybe might be kind of difficult is down here in example 4. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in one more time. We're going to talk about this. First of all, we're evaluating the following when x is what value, guys? What's your x value here? -3, right? So anywhere where I have an x down here, you're going to plug in what kind of a value? -3. Okay. This is where things might get a little tricky, I think. All right, so down here, let's slide over. First one. First one says, evaluate the following when x is -3. Now keep in mind, a negative sign simply means the opposite of. When I say -3 right here, this means the opposite of 3. Okay? So watch what I do here. Guys, I'm going to substitute everywhere where I have an x. So right there I want to put in what value? But guys, what kind of signs are already out in front? So this is going to be like a negative, and then in parentheses, what am I going to throw in? What value? -3 again. All right. Ooh, this is tricky. Okay, it'll just be a positive. All right. Let me ask the question here first. How many of you guys have said 2 negatives make a positive? How many have heard that before? Why? Why are 2 negatives a positive? Anybody ever told you why 2 negatives are a positive? Anybody know the answer to this? Multiplication it is. Actually, it is in subtraction. Subtracting a negative becomes a positive as well. Anybody know why? Never been told? Okay, I'm going to go back to this example real quickly and see if you buy my argument. Right here I said that's -3, right? Which could also be read as the opposite of what? Okay, watch what I have here. I have 2 negatives right here, right? Instead of saying -3 like this, couldn't I read this as this one right here as opposite? Did I spell that right? Yes. Opposite of -3. Can I read that as opposite of this value, -3? Would you guys agree with that? Well, what is the opposite of a negative?
Positive.
So when I put it in context like that, opposite of a -3, do you understand why 2 negatives make a positive now? Because the opposite of a negative is a positive, right? Okay, so this will be what value then, guys? What am I going to get when I have opposite of -3? +3, okay? That should be your solution there. Okay, good. All right, what do these bars mean again right here in letter B? Say it again, Chelsea. Excellent, absolute value. So I'm going to write letter B as the absolute value of what value is going in there? Negative what? Okay. We never talked in terms of order of operations how you would handle absolute value, but absolute value is going to be just like parentheses. You do that first. So what is the absolute value of -3 going to be now? +3, isn't it? So doesn't this essentially become now 3 plus what, gang? 5. Excellent. And what's the sum of that? 8. Okay? All right, I want you guys to try letter C on your own. See what you get. Substitute -3 for x. You have the absolute value of -10 plus the absolute value of x. See what your sum is when you get that, all right? Well, doesn't this say absolute value right here, John? So the absolute value of anything will always be not negative, but there you go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and write the first line. You tell me if I have substituted correctly. Do you guys like my substitution, first of all? Okay, knowing that absolute value is very similar to parentheses in order of operations, where would I maybe want to start? What are you going to do on the left side here first? What value should I call that? Call it a 10. Plus what? 10 plus 3. Okay, and then finally our sum is what value? 13. Okay. All right, so I get that this is pretty easy. Give me a show of hands. Somebody say, yeah, I feel good about this. Just about everybody here. Excellent. Okay. Again, stuff that we need to make sure that we review before we get into the stuff that's really going to be difficult here. But like I said, you guys have gotten off to such an awesome start here. You keep going in the right direction. Okay. Questions about anything on the notes here before I stop the recording? Going once, twice. Okay. There's a quick quiz that's attached, and I'm going to write down the assignment and hand out the assignment to you as well. And you'll have time to work on that today. But no questions at all? Going once, twice. Okay, get that quick quiz done first, and I'll get the assignment up on the board there for you. All right?